Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to the marketplace with Uche Onoche this evening. Happy New Year, guys! I think this is our first. This is our first webinar this year. I think it's our first webinar. Welcome, guys. Awesome year ahead of us. I believe it's going to be an awesome year ahead of us where a lot we will learn together, a lot we will do together. We have a lot of programs that are coming up. In fact, I can't wait to tell you about the devotional that we have. Awesome devotional. We'll put out the link. We'll put out a link. Daniel put out a link on Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom. Just put out the link. It's an awesome time. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. A lot for us to do this year together. We will learn together. We'll grow together. So welcome to 2022. It's this 2022 is going to yield quite a lot of things that we expect. So now we are starting this year with what I call focus. How to focus, how to use the power of focus in your business. We'll be discussing different aspects of focus this year, but it's important for us to understand the power of focus, to understand how we can use the power of focus this year to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. Okay, Julia, I see you. How you doing? Hi, South Africa. Greetings here from the city of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. To those of you coming live on Instagram and Facebook, I welcome all of you. And also to those of you coming on Zoom, Lamine Sise, I welcome you this evening. Welcome this evening. Welcome this evening to this topic. Those of you on Facebook, I also greet you. I also greet you all. I will just go right into our presentation for the day, which is how to use the power of focus. The power of focus to help us achieve what we want to achieve today. I think I will also deal with certain aspects. This will have, we're going to have different aspects of this focus. We're going to really look into this focus and see how it can help us to do better. Okay, so let's dive right in and look at a bit of the overview concerning this topic here today. You see, we are thinking here as entrepreneurs. We are speaking here as entrepreneurs, and there's quite a lot of mistakes that entrepreneurs make, and they make a simple mistakes that can subvert the success of their business, you know. And one very key one I've seen is not paying undivided attention to the task at hand, not being able to concentrate on the task at hand. You see, the thing is, we are always prepared for the big things. We're always prepared for big things, but big things are never, solving big things are never the issue. The issue is how to solve little things. Little things make up. You see, when you solve little things on time, they will not be able to grow and manifest into becoming big things. So even when you have a big assignment, the best way to go about it is to break it into different small tasks and now start to grow it from there. Entrepreneurs make this mistake. They're not giving much attention to the task they have at hand. You know, they find themselves they find themselves focusing their energy on multi tasks at the same time, instead of focusing their attention on individual time and tasks per time that will give them the greatest result. I can remember many years ago as a very young man, I think in my mid-20s, I think one of my bosses at that time taught me priority. He said, look, do you know how to prioritize? He doesn't use lists, but he just says, what will give me the greatest result? What will get me noticed faster? What will get management to know that there's a human being here that is working? What we get, then start from those things and do it extremely well. Concentrate on the things that give more value than the things the things that don't give as much value. You see, when we are focusing on multiple different tasks at once, what it means is that there is no room for improvement on any one of them, and somewhere along the line, you don't even manage to do things, get them done, and get them done well. So when we are able, you see, there are times you are able to multitask if you are multitasking and you are delegating. You see, when you multitask and delegate at the same time gives you room. That's a different topic for another day, of which I believe that we'll share here. How do I multitask? So that we understand there's a way to multitask. Multitask doesn't mean doing everything at the same time. Multitasking is effective when you have learned the power of delegation. Multitask is effective when you understand supervision, delegation, and supervision, because it means that many people are doing the same thing at the same time, but you're monitoring them. It's just been like the general group MD. It's just like being a group MD. You are the MD of a group of managing directors as well. You know, so you can multitask at that level, but you are multitasking and the organization is maybe diversifying into different things at the same time. But it is not that one person is running them. It's not that one person. What can you do? Supervision, the act of supervision is what helps you to multitask. But the way we are, with this mind, you know, just think now, just take a few minutes and just think. You are thinking one thing at a time. You can't think two things at a time. You have to drop one to think the other. You know, and it's just like juggling balls. You're trying to juggle 2-3 balls, and maybe with time, you will learn how to juggle 3 balls. Yeah, if you're really good at it, you can juggle 4. But when it begins to get to 6, 7, well, you must have invested a lot of time in it for you to be able to juggle all those balls at the same time, because many can fall out and you don't even have any at the same time. When you're trying to do many things, channeling your energy into different things, there's no room for you to improve, because you are not even able to sit back and take an assessment and see what I am doing. Is it working? Are we making progress? And at the end of the day, not only will you not do it well, but you also will not put in your best at it. Let me give you an example. Maybe a management decides and say, look, we want to create a powerful sales system for our business, you know, and we are focused on making that process great. So it is a sales, you can't be pushing, it's a sales process and team that you want to do. You need to concentrate and make it, great. Because even if it was good at a time, it is time for you now to push it to the extent that it becomes great. So what I'm saying is that take a department at a time, take a task at a time, finish it, then you move on to the next thing that you need to do. And by the time you go around, you have what you have is that you have a formidable, you will have a formidable team that you're working with. Okay, let's try and move further and understand the power of focus. There's this guy that is called Canfield, is the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. Interesting series. For those of you on Instagram not seeing my slides, it is Jack Canfield. It is the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul, Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. It's famously said there that you can only control 3 things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions that you take. I'll say it again. You can only control effectively 3 things in your life: the thoughts. You cannot grow more than the thoughts that you think. You cannot grow more than the thoughts that you think. You can't rise above the things that you're thinking about. So it's usually good for you to have, when they say you can't rise above what you know generates those thoughts. And those thoughts is also what generates the images that you visualize. So you can control your thoughts, you can control your the images you visualize and the actions that you take as a person. So it's important, your thoughts, the images you allow, and the actions that you take. Focusing can help us in these 3 areas. When you're focused, it helps you in these 3 areas. Read all the books of successful people, and you discover that focus is a common theme in their story. You will see focus is a common theme in the story of almost all the books on success. So imagine what you could achieve if you put all your focus in one thing and not stop until that thing becomes successful. The thing is that we don't wait to see how we can go through the learning curve. We don't wait. You see, everything in life, you see, I tell people, especially young people, in life, there are hurdles. God has put certain hurdles in our way. These hurdles is not to bring us down. It's not about our downfall. It's not to bring us down. These hurdles is not not to destroy us, but is there to help us. It helps us grow. Is there to help us become better at what we do. So if you can concentrate per time, what do I need per time? We have taught here to-do list. What are the to-do lists that you need to be able to write one every morning and follow it? You must train your mind to begin to sense the things that are important to you. High priority. For me, is what gives me the most gain that I do. So now when I say the most gain, what gives me in terms of my job or any aspect of your life, start doing the important ones are the ones that give you the most gain. Concentrate on them before you move to any other thing that you are doing. So imagine if you could achieve what you can achieve if you put all your focus in one. It might take all your focus and concentration, but I tell you, it is worth it when you have great stories that will be coming out. So I'm suggesting that you should keep trying to force something to become, focus on something to become a success story. The more you focus, the easier things become. The more you focus, the easier things become. See, I have seen it many times. I have a task to do. I have no clue what to do, how to go about it. I sincerely have no idea how to go about it. But the power of focus, what it does for you is that focus helps you. The more you think, the more you will see an escape route. The more you think about this, the more it becomes easier for you to see a way to tackle it. There's nothing that you cannot tackle. There's nothing that is insurmountable. There is always, all you need is that focus. Focus is like a drill. It drills through any challenge that you have. You continue to focus, and there will be a way. You will see a way of escape. Okay. So how do we now, let's now go into how do I stay focused in my business? Everything we have talked about so far is all powerful only if we can put what we have learned into practice. See, you become better. You become, practice, they say, makes perfect. So the more you practice these things, the more you become better. But the first thing that makes you stay focused, listen, the first thing that makes you stay focused is what? You have to set goals. The first thing that helps you stay focused is that you have to set goals. Set goals, because if you do not have goals to work towards, then it's hard for you to find that one positive thing to focus on. Goals is what you focus. What gets you out of bed at night? What gets you out of bed at night? What are you trying? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What gets you out of bed in the morning is those set goals. What makes you live a certain lifestyle is those set goals. What are the cultures and what that character, your character, or the level of activity, your preparedness, all this is as a result of your set goals. So if you do not have set goals, then it is difficult for you to be focused. You will be focused on what? Without goal setting, there's no room for even personal development. And there's no way we can be talking about peak performance and personal development. How do you develop when there's nothing to focus on? How do you develop when there's nothing to focus on? So the first place to start to stay focused in your business, set goals. Don't be comfortable. It's time for you to leave your comfort zone. It's time for you to try something different. It's time for you to do something different. And so set that goal this January. It's time for you to set that goal this January. And say, this is what I want to achieve before half year. And this is what I want to achieve before the end of the year. Set those goals. See, and people always ask me, why is it that in the bank they give targets, 2 billion, 500,000, all that? Why do they give you goals? I've lived that life and I understand. There was a time we had a target. It wasn't in the bank, but where I was working, it was also target driven, to the extent that your target is broken down into weeks. So when you come for Monday meeting, it's already calculated, and my boss will tell you are owing the company 500 million. You are owing the company 400 million, and you're wondering, where am I going to get this? Am I going to carry a gun and go out? So even if you carry a gun and go out, how many people are you going to rob to get 500 million? But what it does to you is that once there is a set goal and a company gives you goals, you will not be able to sleep. I'm telling you, there's something about setting a goal, whether it's formal or informal. Once you set a goal, you become focused on it. Everything in creation begins to awaken to help you achieve it. Everything in creation will wake up. See, once a man's mind is focused on something, men and materials begin to move in his favor. The elements of creation begin to move in your favor. The earth begin to answer to your call because it has already been designed to favor people that are focused. It's designed to favor people that want to achieve. So in this life, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to say, oh, okay, I didn't have parents. I came from a poor background. I did this, I did that. When that happens to you, when you start saying those things, what it means is that the earth will help you also to continue to complain. Realize that men and material and the elements of creation begin to work in your favor as soon as you become focused in achieving one particular thing. So let me just give you some strategies that you can use also to stay focused, remain focused, and also to focus well on things. One, be consistent in what you do. The first thing you need to do is be consistent in what you do. One of the worst habits anybody can have, especially entrepreneurs, is inconsistency. If you're inconsistent in neither your personal life or business life, the signal you send out is that of you are not trustworthy. People cannot trust somebody that is not consistent. Oh, okay, so this week you come to work. Then next week you call in that, oh, you were sick. Then maybe the following week you come to work, the next week you find an excuse. Or somebody gives you a job, they give you a job, the first job, you do so well at it. I've had a lot of people that have worked, vendors that have worked for me in that way. The first time they come, they do so well. Then after that first time that they've done so well, what happens is that they start being inconsistent. Their work begins to suffer. The performance of their work begins to suffer. Performance of their work rather begins to drop, and their true character begins to come. Consistency is an important part of living a balanced life. And balanced life, either work life, business life, or personal life. When you make consistency one of your positive habits, you soon start to discover new opportunities. And you are beginning to make progress towards your own financial goal. Consistency creates opportunity. Like I said, when you are consistent, a man that is focused, I will say, is a dangerous man. A man that is focused is a man that is dangerous as far as I'm concerned. Because what focus does is that it gives you the highest form of concentration. It's just like when you can use a lens. For those of us that are science students, you can use a lens and put it and try with the sun, focus it on a piece of paper. You know that paper is going to catch fire. It's going to be engulfed in fire because you are focusing the intensity of the heat from the sun on that paper. You are just narrowing it, let it converge on that paper. After a while, that thing is going to burn. And so does focus. This is what focus helps you. It helps you to bring new opportunities. It helps you to make progress towards your financial goal. If you didn't hear me, hear this that I've said to you today. Once you are focused, you are determined. And once you are determined, men and material will work in your favor. We begin to gather towards you. The elements of creation will begin to gather to help you. The earth will begin to help you. Man and all the things on earth will begin to come to help you because you are determined. That's how God has said it. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? Seest thou a man diligent in his business will do what? He will stand before kings. He will stand before the highest, the creme de la creme of the society. If you're consistent in your business. How many people? David was there in the Bible to some of us that read that. What was he doing? What was he doing? They recommended him that there is somebody that he can play the flute. And so when that spirit comes upon Saul, they bring David for David to be able to play that flute for him so that whatever is inside of him will begin to cool down. The same thing that happened to Joseph. Joseph was was in the prison. It was because he was focused as honing his skills. He was focused at what he does. He developed himself. And it brings, every time you're focused on something, before you realize it, new opportunities begin to come. All my work in in public speaking started from reading. The more you read, you become a reservoir of knowledge. Not read to cram, just read. And the more you are reading, the more opportunities for outlet for you to speak about the things that you've read, they will come. A young man came to me and said, look, I need to have speaking engagements. I said, it will come when you're prepared. The Chinese say that when the student is ready, the master will show up. And that is the mistake most of us make, especially young people make, is that they feel that just give me the job. When I'm on the job, I will develop myself. It doesn't work like that with God. You see that you develop yourself. When you have developed yourself, the opportunity will come. The Chinese knew that many centuries ago. Opportunities come to those that are more prepared. You can have a friend, and that friend is always having a job. They're calling him to do this and do that. And you're wondering what is happening. It's because the way God has designed this life is that we become. The way God has designed this life is that you attract what is on the inside of you, attracts what is on the outside. So when you are filled with a certain kind of knowledge in a certain kind of way, you attract opportunity for you to share that wealth of knowledge that is inside of you. It's not for you to struggle at times to make a way for yourself. All you need to do is to struggle to build yourself. Capacity attracts opportunity. Capacity attracts opportunities. Develop yourself and those opportunities will come. You see, when the butler reported to Pharaoh that there's a man I know that can interpret dreams, did you think he loved David? No, sorry, Joseph. He didn't love Joseph. It was because it was an appraisal issue for him. After all, two of them were, him and the baker were sent on suspension. And in those days, they send you on suspension, heads will roll. That's where they say, I think there's a saying like that, heads will roll. It's because before a king in those days, in those medieval days, when you offend the king, your head will roll. It's as simple as that. So he remembered to please the king. To please the king, he had to remember there was somebody that showed consistency in dreams. Okay, they were in the prison. Just think with me for a minute. They were in the prison. How come they would locate Joseph? They might have been talking about the dream. This is me paraphrasing now, it's not in the Bible. But there must have been something that led to, come, ask Joseph, interpret dreams for us here. You see, those things that you do for free for people, you don't know that you are announcing yourself. You know, see, sometimes it's good to do free things when you're trying to grow yourself, because you are giving out and you are showing people what you can. You're showing people what you can do, what you are made of. And let me tell you, once you continue to do that, and the day of reckoning will come, and once that day of reckoning comes, what happened? Opportunity will come, like it came for Joseph. And somebody listening to me here today, it will come for you as well. That because you are there, consistent in what you are doing, somebody would have whispered to the baker and the butler in the cell where they were. I said, this our boss here, this our junior boss here can interpret dreams. Because I believe that Joseph must have been a comforter of some sort. Being the boss in the prison, the underboss in prison, what would he have been doing? Comforting people, talking to them. I have a dream. He will interpret that dream for you. So he must have been doing that before the point came when he's able, he was called to interpret for the butler, who forgot about him until a certain time. Everybody has his own certain time. But without consistency and development, you will not be able to get to that point. see, forget about how many jobs, how many contracts, who is calling you, who is not calling you. What you should concentrate on as much as possible, get up every day and learn something new. Get up every day, expand your knowledge base in your area. I always tell people I have 5 areas. Don't ask me anything outside that 5 areas, because I don't waste my time to think of the things that in the other areas. Because I remember my priority is in the areas that give me the most benefit, most reward. Consistency is what helps you. Consistency is what will help you get noticed. I believe this is a word for someone here tonight under the sound of my voice. Consistency is going to help you to achieve what you want. Be consistent in that thing that you do. A time will come. A time will come. You also will be announced. All right. Okay. Another point I want to bring out about that will help you to be focused is what? Optimize and track your success and failure. Anything that happens to you, any major event in your life, like now we are starting a new year, you must be able to appraise last year. When you do a contract for a staff, appraise yourself, appraise your work. People that appraise themselves are people that are focused. Because see, what appraisal does for you is that it keeps you focused on the work that you do. And I tell people the work of your hands is the most important thing that can ever happen to you. The work of your hands is more important than the cash in the bank. Set a man diligent in his business. Diligence is what will, at the end of the day, money is a function. Money is a function of business. Money is a function of your ability and capability. Money is a function of what you do. When you do what you do and do it well, money will come. So money is secondary, but sometimes we put our eyes on the money and not on the activity. You must put your eyes on the activity, because if you do the activity very well, the money will come. Money attracts. You see, the good one for me, my handwork is better than the cash I had in my pocket. You know what? Goodwill brings about repeated order, repeated sales. Goodwill brings about repeated sales. So now, if you are good at what you do, what makes you wealthy and successful is repeated sales, repeated sales. Repeated sales. This is what makes you successful. Repeated sales in the sense that when you concentrate, focus on the output and not on the money, more people will keep coming. But when you focus on the money, you can fool people sometimes, but you can't fool them all the time. After a while, they will see that you are fake. Appraise yourself. Track yourself. This brings us back to the idea of goal setting, because if you don't have goals, you will not be able to track your progress. I've said that. If you're not tracking your audience and key metrics, it can become really difficult to know if you are having success or failure. When we are trying to create something great, there will be times that we will reach that goal and it's okay. It's not all the time that you need to reach the set goal to feel that you have made progress. If you think back to your maths class, to those that did maths, you realize that your teacher, I've had a lot of maths teachers, they are not so much interested in the answer, because somebody can copy the answer and just put it there. No, they are interested in workings. Many exams you go, they will give you a plain sheet of paper, if you can remember, to do your working, to show your working, and you will submit that paper. you will submit that paper at the end of the day. Why are they doing that? Because they want to be able to see your mind concerning it. So you can fail the answer. You might fail in getting the answer, but they will pass you because they have seen your workings and they see where you had challenges. And so they understand that you have tried to a certain extent. I've had 75 before because I showed working and I didn't get the answer. But it's because they were looking at the process. That it's not because you don't know it, but maybe one or two things will remove that 25% from you for that particular question. So what am I saying? You must be able to track what you are doing. When you're trying to create something, there will be times when you won't reach that goal. It's okay. But not reaching that goal doesn't mean that you didn't make progress. Business is always a work in progress. We might fail 45 times before we get it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times you try, but you never quit in that thing that you want to do. The people that quit early are the people that lose. See, there is nothing you choose in life. When somebody says, this is what I want to do, I always ask them this question: how many times have you felt like dropping this thing? If you tell me that you have never felt like dropping it, I know that you're not very serious. It means that you've not gotten to the point that that thing will test you. Even God said we should test every spirit, our own spirit as well. You see, there are many times I tell people that the work I do, this marketplace work, sometimes I want to abandon it, relocate out of the country, and just go to one country and go and hide my head, because it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, but it does not mean that you will not be. When there's some form of when you don't meet the mark, it's the time for us to be able to appraise, track our success and failure, and be prepared. So where did you fail in 2021? Let's appraise, let's look at it and have a plan and move forward. Okay, what you are doing is that you are building focus. Okay, you failed, but you have learned something. Your focus will become stronger and more intense, and that's what tracking your success and failure does. That is what tracking your success and failure does. It gets you more focused. It gets you more prepared for you to be able to succeed. Okay. The third one that I want to talk about is don't move on until you reach your goals. See, don't move on. Pay attention to the steps you take and how they affect the matrix, and set yourself action plans if more work is needed. Follow through. Patience. Do you know that patience is a tool for the entrepreneur? Patience is a key tool for the entrepreneur. And this is where a lot of entrepreneurs fail. This is where they don't bring that thing they're doing to fruition, because after a while they begin to feel, when they hit a rough patch, they begin to say, I don't think this business is for me. It's for you. You decided it was for you. Not only decided it was for you, you even committed money to it. You committed money into it. So it means that you are interested in that business. You are interested in that business. So what you now need to do, what you need to do is to make sure you stay and go through everything. You know, it's just like when children are born, or maybe when you relocate from Africa to the Western world, you realize that, wow, you know, I had a friend that said, look, I want winter. I can't wait to live abroad. Heat was killing me here. I don't have generator. We were young then. I don't have generator. There's no light where I live. You know, he was planning on relocating. And guess where he was planning to relocate to? Canada, where people are running from certain parts of Canada. people are running from. He said when he gets there, he will remove his shirt and be walking. I say it's okay. When you get there, you give us the story. He got there after 6 months. Unfortunately for him, when he got into the coldest part, the guy said he wants to relocate. That he wants to go to US, places where there is no winter in US. He called a state. I said, no, you must stay there. Maybe you say you like to stay where there is where the weather is cold. That Africa has already given you all the heats that you want in life. You see, you have to stay there to be able to receive the things. You have to condition yourself and make sure you achieve that goal instead of trying to abandon ship and move to something else. This is the reason why most businesses, most entrepreneurs, most startups, they fail within the first 5 years because they don't want to see the summer, the spring, the autumn, and the winter. You must go through all of them, and all of them have their own good points and also have their own bad points. You have their own good days and bad days. All these things is what makes you a seasoned entrepreneur. A seasoned entrepreneur is one that can navigate all the seasons of an entrepreneur and still remain and still make profit. It takes some time for you to learn it. It takes some time for you to learn that. So you must be able to stay, don't abandon ship, and go through all that you need to go through in it for you to be able to make it. Okay. The fourth, and I think the last one, is work on one thing at a time. I have told you, some people say, but I can multitask. I've told you I will teach here the secrets behind multitasking for entrepreneurs and leaders. Is I will just give you for free here is understanding supervision and delegation, so that you are able to multitask. But there's a limit to what one person can do. You can't be everywhere at the same time. You can't be on the field, you can't be on the field, you can't be in the office. You can't be the salesperson, you can't be the admin person. You can't be all that. You can only be one thing. You can supervise and make sure you get people, qualified people that you have trained to be in places. Then you can multitask. Multitasking has nothing to do with one person, because when you're doing one thing, that brain shuts down to other things until you finish it. Okay, so work on your one thing. Now that you're aware of the power of focus, you need to get rid of all those old habits and start developing some good ones. Learn the act of paying attention to only the things that bring you the highest reward per time. It can be difficult in today's fast-paced marketplace, but it's a skill that will serve you well. You see, we have too many options. That's why I try between the hours of 6 a.m. to 12 noon, I try to stay away from social media. I'm not even a social media person. I deliberately don't manage my social media for personal reasons. You know, I don't have time to stay there. I think that it is something, when you get into that street of Instagram and Facebook, you are just going to be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you are achieving nothing, and time is going. Time is going. Let it be what you do on your bed, you want to sleep. Let it be what you do during your break time or something, but it should not be what you are doing when you have something to achieve. Once you create the positive habit of doing one thing per time, and giving it a deadline, not just saying I'm going to do this, giving it a deadline. Me, I like to draw. I like to put diagrams. I think in pictures and I think in diagrams. So it's easy for me to put diagrams and say, okay, this is what I need to do right now. And after that, I'll go to the next and go to the next and go to the next. And before you know it, you've gone around the circle. And you see that thing that you're trying to build, it becomes better. So work at one thing per time will help you to become better. Okay, so I will just conclude by saying, take these 4 points that I've given to you. Everything in life takes 21 days to form a habit, a good habit, a bad habit. It doesn't matter what it takes. It takes 21 days to form a habit. So now, if you can withstand that 21 days of being in a state of consciousness that that you are reminding yourself, put things around you, put pictures, put it on your DP, put it around you, the things that you want to remember. Put it all around you and say, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to become. This is what I want to achieve. Put it all around you, you know, and once you can put it all around you, so you can remain focused. And once you are focused on something, oh, the whole universe will begin to work in your favor to see that those things come to pass. Focus is one of the greatest tools any successful person, any successful leader or entrepreneur needs. That focus, the power of focus is not something you can play with. It's the same intensity that heat comes on something is the same level that I've seen it being used in many books and writings to talk about focus. Focus is sharp. Focus is like that water that is heating. Anything that water will hit, after a while, that thing will give way to that water, be it rock, be it whatever it is. It will keep chipping and chipping and chipping at it. And you see, after a while, even rocks will give way. That is the same way with the power of focus. Power of focus is that, like that bird they call woodpecker. It just keeps pecking until it brings that thing down. Focus is like that axe, that sharp axe, that you will keep hitting and hitting. Focus on one particular area. Afterwards, it will come down. There is nothing that focus cannot bring down. There's nothing that focus cannot help you. Because once you are focused, the universe will help you. Men and material will begin to flow your way, and you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Please, before you go, just give me a minute. I just want to talk to you guys about something. We have a devotional, marketplace devotional. This marketplace devotional is for business, leadership, and career development. It's an awesome book. Every month, there's a marketplace devotional. Please, Daniel, put out the links on all the handles here on Zoom. Also, I have people here with me on Zoom, Instagram, both Instagram and also on Facebook. Please just check it out. Check it out. The devotional is there, and a devotional is there. Please sign up. I think when you sign up, you get a certain amount of it free. You just get certain days of the month to show you what is in there. Please sign up. It will be an awesome experience for you. We have baked it for years. It's been on our mind for years, and now we'll bring it to you this today, this year. So please be part of it in that devotional. Okay. I also want to remind you, on Wednesdays, I have my live mentoring session where we discuss issues on these 5 things, the 5 areas that we touch here. One is business, career, leadership, personal finance, relationship, and life issues. So please, on Wednesday, you can just ask questions. How it works is just put out a question in any of my DM, Untitled or Marketplace of Apostle or Make in Nigeria. Just put out the questions in my DM, and I'll be there to answer. If you also know someone that has questions in this area, please put it out there. Awesome testimonies have come out from it. You know, someone met me in church and said he just gave a lady the link and said, go to Untitled on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and just listen to what I said on depression. Not knowing that thing that I said on depression was what helped her to, she was planning on committing suicide that day and just decided to hear me out. And today she's still alive and with us because of it. Businesses, different kinds of businesses have come up. The business ideas, mental blocks have been removed because they ask a question and we come there live to answer. So please, if you know somebody that is struggling, don't let them struggle. You don't have to put your name. This is how it works. You just put your name. You can say Uche O from Port Harcourt, Uche O from Ghana, Uche O from Maryland, Uche O from India, wherever you are. That's how, so that there's no personal touch. We don't know you. We're just advising you based on that particular thing, based on that particular thing that you're asking us at that time. That's how it works. So I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. It's 4 p.m. West African time. I look forward to seeing you. Please invite someone. Let us help ourselves go through whatever we're going through. There's a lot of confusion. This is the beginning of the year. There's a lot of confusion. So people tend to ask questions, please. And that's why I brought out this devotional to help you, the marketplace devotional. That's why I brought it out to help you and to help help people go through what they are going through. Okay, and some people always ask me, can I have more than 1 hour? Can I have more? I want to have a personal contact with you. I need you to coach me. Yes, that can be arranged. You can also put out your request there and we'll get across to you and we can discuss how I can mentor you one-on-one to achieve what you want. I've mentored a lot of people to be able to get to where they want. So if you also want that option, it can be arranged. We can make it work so you can reach out to us as well. We have a TMG group forum. TMG is our Think, Make, Grow forum where we promote people to think about products, to make, to take a step further from thinking to making, and from making now to growing their businesses both locally and internationally. So it's a forum that we have, is a network, is a powerful network that we have where we try as much as possible to go deeper in the things that we teach. All these things are available for you. Make out time. This year we're going to be more, we're going to do more, we're going to be intentional about doing all these things. So these are all the things that we have in store for you today. So please, I think the links are out. Follow the links and familiarize yourself and get some of this devotional, some of the days of the devotional. Get it, and I'm sure it will be a blessing. And please, when you get it and read it, we'd like to hear your comment. You can just put out your comment on our DM. Please, I really urge you guys to just go and put it out there. Also, thank you guys for coming live with me this Monday evening. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, 4 p.m. West African time. Thank you guys. God bless. Have a good night. Rest. All right. I will put it on the Daniel, come and put it on Zoom. Just put it for those on Zoom. Just come and put it for them. Just put the link for them. But to those of you on Instagram and Facebook, have a good night rest. Daniel. Off the screen. So you say share to it. How to use, put the link in, put to use, what's the title? can post, right? Okay, so those of you on Zoom, we'll put the link. We'll put the link here. I can't say it. It's there. Okay, I'll put the link to those of you on Zoom. Please sign up. Just go there, sign up, and enjoy the devotional. God bless you guys. Have a good night, rest.